ESPN First Take was asking if the Ravens loss to the Browns was something or nothing, and Stephen A. Smith thinks it is something. I'm going to get into that in just a second and play you the clip, but before I do that, welcome to Flock Talk, your home for all things Baltimore Ravens football. If you're a Ravens fan and you're new to this channel, take a second, like the video, subscribe. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. That was the goal we set before the season. We're getting close, but I need all of you watching this to hit subscribe and help me get there. Thank you all so much for watching and supporting this channel, but this video is about Stephen A. Smith asking about if the Ravens loss to the Browns was something or nothing. Shannon Sharpe said it was nothing. Stephen A. had the floor. This is what he had to say.
I'm going to agree with Damian Woody here. There is no question that this is something. This is a problem. This is a problem. When we're talking about the Baltimore Ravens, this is the 8th time since 2022 that they've given up a lead after they've been leading with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. This is the 8th time they've done it. That hasn't happened to any other NFL team. And so when we think about the Baltimore Ravens, their mystique, their history, what they stand on, it's been about their defense. That's who they are. And for some reason, we don't get that this year. Now, Marlon Humphreys and Nate Wiggins was out. You're absolutely right. And that compromised their secondary. But they weren't out, to use your example, to use an example like you would use, Shay. They weren't out when they lost to the Raiders. This is a team that seems to play down to the competition and get themselves exposed. They converted they failed to convert 8 of 10 third downs yesterday. That's an offensive issue. But we all know the biggest problem with this team is their defense. They can't seem to stop anybody when you really, really need them to stop somebody. And that's problematic. And, they weren't pressuring the quarterback. They couldn't get to Jameis Winston unless they blitzed him. So we got to take that into account, too, as well. Where's the pass rush? Okay, your secondary. We know that you were depleted yesterday. That wasn't the case when you lost to the Raiders in Game 2 of the NFL season. We've seen what's transpired on occasion last year as well. I'm just seeing a dissipation take place when it comes to the quality of the Baltimore Ravens defense, what we've come to expect, what we believe in, and compared that to what we've seen this year. They ain't the same team defensively. And if they're going to win a Super Bowl championship, if they're going to get to the Super Bowl against the likes of the Kansas City Chiefs or the Buffalo Bills, I might add, if you're going to get there, your defense is going to have to look a hell of a lot better than we saw them look yesterday.
And look, folks, I have to say, I agree with Stephen A. Smith in this. I don't think this loss is insignificant. I know there might be a percentage of the fan base that likes to look at things half glass full and be positive outlook. I'm here for it. But that's awesome. But if we're going to look at this and say that this is insignificant and it doesn't really matter and brush it under the rug, I think we're missing something because this was nothing new. This wasn't like just a one-off game. This has been a problem, like he pointed out, from the defense all season long. You can say that Marlon Humphrey and Nate Wiggins were out. That's fine. They were. And that contributed to the loss, I'm sure, to some degree. But let's not pretend this has been some lockdown defense, one of the top-ranked defenses in the league when they've been in the lineup, because that is just incorrect. Yes, I know they statistically play some of the tightest coverage in the league. Fantastic. You still give up 300 yards a game. It doesn't matter how tight the coverage is. You're still giving up big plays. You're still not communicating well. You're still no pass rush on this team. Look, I've said it. I'll keep saying it. The Ravens need to address a pass rusher and get one in the building, or this season could be in jeopardy. And that may sound dramatic. May have a lot of fans like, there's no way. I'm telling you, way. If you watch this game, the difference in the Browns and the Ravens pass rush was night and day. It was night and day. And the big argument against the Ravens pass rush being so bad statistically is, well, the Ravens just get ahead of people, and then the other team has to throw the ball because the Ravens shut down the run. They get ahead on teams. There you go. More passing attempts, more passing yards. It makes sense. Sure, except the fact that the Ravens were not like way ahead in this game. It was always a game. It was never a moment in this game where the Browns had to abandon the run because they were down so much in this game. That's number one. Number two, the Browns ran the ball decent on the Ravens. It's not like the Ravens completely shut them down. The Browns did okay on the ground. And Jameis Winston still threw for 336 yards and 3 touchdowns. So can we please stop using that argument that it's just because the Ravens get ahead of teams? No, they weren't ahead of the Browns, and they still got cooked. Eddie Jackson's a liability. I'm sorry, but he is. This defense cannot catch a ball for some reason. I don't understand. Like, they're talented enough. I don't doubt that, but listen, Ravens, if you're looking for people to just drop the ball in the secondary, my goodness, put me out there. I'll take their salary to drop the ball. I mean, granted, it probably would never get thrown my way, but still, I mean, it's going to end up the same on the stat sheet. Either way, a big play is being given up. I'll do that. But all jokes aside here, this defense is not good. The pass rush is a liability. We keep hearing Odafe Owe is going to arrive. When? I don't know. Okay? Like, he has not, so far, it's been disappointing. He has not lived up to the hype coming out of college and into the league. This is probably going to come across as an ultra negative video. And look, I agree with you. It's not the most positive outlook. I'll get there later on in the week, I promise. But right now, I'm just calling it like I'm saying it. This unit is going to cost the Ravens a chance at a Super Bowl in Lamar Jackson's prime. This is the opportunity. They have Derrick Henry. They have Lamar Jackson. They have the skill, but they cannot put 30 or more on every single team they play. At some point, your defense has to step up and have a good game and shut down a team. They had a chance to win the game. They had a chance. First of all, you can argue this probably shouldn't have even been a game. But I will give you division rival Jameis Winston rolls off the couch after not playing or starting a game in 2 or 3 years, or having 3 starts in 2 to 3 years, whatever, and is just lighting you up. Okay, you have a chance to win the game. Second to last drive, Eddie Jackson drops an interception. Again, the second one of the game turns into a touchdown later on the drive. Okay, that's fine. The next drive, the Browns' final drive of the game, Kyle Hamilton just drops a ball that just hits him right in the body. Just like perfect pass to Kyle Hamilton. Of course, he drops it. Next play, Eddie Jackson, our favorite safety, once again gets burnt by Cedric Tillman. Touchdown. Game-winning score. Like, you cannot make this up. The Ravens' standard for defense has slipped. And people I keep seeing people wanting to defend Zach Orr, and I'm here for that. I want to be patient. But at the same time, when your defense goes from first last year to last in passing yards, just a year apart, and your personnel is the same, basically, outside of a few players, which most people would say we're not going to make or break this defense. Are you telling me Geno Stone was the cornerstone of this defense, that if he leaves, the whole thing crumbles? Are you telling me Ronald Darby was that? Are you telling me Patrick Queen was that? No. The most important, it looks like at this point, was Jadeveon Clowney. My goodness, the difference on the pass rush without him. Whew, yikes. Yeah, the Ravens, in my opinion, that's priority number one for Eric DeCosta. Go find yourself a pass rusher who can help complement Kyle Van Noy off the edge. Kyle Van Noy is a good pass rusher, but he's not a one-man show. He's not Myles Garrett. He's not TJ Watt. He's not that. He's good, but the Ravens need to get someone a bit more consistent. Now, the Ravens aren't going to go pull someone of that caliber, and I'm not saying they will. That's not likely to happen. The only person that's even in talks to be in the trade talks at this point would be like Max Crosby, which their owner just said, no, not for sale. So, not like the Ravens were going to go do that anyways. But point is, they need somebody who can go and be a consistent guy with Kyle Van Noy. Because when you looked at the Browns' D-line and their pass rush, they disrupted what the Ravens wanted to do on offense. Lamar Jackson was running for his life. Excuse me. And how many times did he have to run around and try to make something happen? And then doink the ball right off of Rashad Bateman's face mask. Anyways. And then you look at the Ravens pass rush, and Jameis Winston's just sitting back there just chilling, having a grand old time. So you tell me. The pass rush, number one. Safety, probably number two. And I think if you have time and you want to just keep going, freaking add another corner that's, not getting cooked, Brandon Stevens. Just kidding. Brandon Stevens actually plays pretty tight coverage. It's just he gives up a lot of passes, it seems. Maybe I'm wrong. That's just what I'm saying. But let me know in the comments, guys. Do you agree with Stephen A? Do you disagree with Stephen A? List your reasons why down in the comments. I appreciate you tuning in to this video. If you were still watching, make sure you like the video, subscribe. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers, and I need all of you from Ravens Nation watching this to help me get there. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Go Ravens!